All right, so I'm going to invite Jared Miller, minister in Calgary, to share a little bit about his story and particularly some of the changes that they've had to make in their ministry plan, moving to more online type ministry. So I'll hand it over to you, Jared. Thanks for sharing your story today.
All right. Yeah, thanks so much. Um, so Matt asked me to share a little bit about sort of the Creek's recent story, which has involved kind of a dynamic shift sort of away from traditional church planting ministry kind of things. But to get there, I think I need to give you a little context of where I serve. So I'm largely bivocational. I serve as the minister for mission at St. Andrew's Church in in Calgary, but I'm also the ministry lead for the Creek. And so the Creek kind of came out of this idea. Actually, I went back to find the dates this morning, January 31st, 2011, where the Presbytery of Calgary McLeod approved the amalgamation of Trinity Presbyterian and St. Andrew's Presbyterian. And at the time, Trinity was the closest, or was the only Presbyterian congregation in the south, the deep south of Calgary. So out of sort of a desire to want to maintain Reformed witness in that part of the city, a vision was sort of cast to create a third ministry position, which would, among other things, lead and create a social ministry in South Calgary to meet the real needs of families, and then extend the ministry of St. Andrews into South Calgary and offer it to families, and in time create a worshiping faith community that'll have a family ministry as its primary mission focus. They identified a number of values that became kind of central for us. And I just want to let you know two of those were, because they play into where the story has sort of gone. The basic idea would be, this from the Presbytery Minutes, to make meeting the needs of families in South Calgary our primary missional focus, and to develop this mission as a witness to Jesus Christ in a way that builds credibility and respect among secular people. So I came to Calgary in 2015 to answer this call, and then through a number of winding, weird roads, I ended up in 2018 launching phase one of this project, which was a year of experimentation where we created an experimentation plan of 50 things we were going to try, hoping that something would stick. And what we really found was that the only thing we were really succeeding in doing was finding a moderately expensive way to make busy people in South Calgary busier. So we ended up taking some time afterwards to evaluate where the bright spots were, and we were planning to launch phase two on Good Friday of 2020, and then the world caught on fire. And so at the first meeting of the new worshiping communities team, I told them that my work plan was basically on the dumpster fire now, and I didn't have, and so they asked me what can be a key question for us. They said, so what are you going to do about it? And I sort of sat with that question, initially deeply uncomfortable with it, because my first thought was, well, what can I do about it? And then, so I took that as an opportunity to go back and begin to reflect with my team on what our sort of animating values had been, which were to meet the needs of families in South Calgary and develop mission as a witness to Jesus Christ in a way that builds credibility among secular people. And so we've spent the last 6 months, 7 months of this sort of pandemic time, both reflecting on that and trying to build toward a pivot that we presented to Presbytery 3 weeks ago now. Time doesn't matter. Time doesn't exist anymore. And we found a couple of things to be true. One, the people we're trying to reach are all online already. And two, that the church has been falling behind in building ministry capacity with the realities of online life and online community, and that online is fundamentally first and foremost a place. And so we've begun trying to recontextualize church for a digital as a digital community. There's a gathering component of that still that we're trying to navigate in COVID times, but we've gone back to the drawing board and said, what is it the church does, and how can we kind of take those pieces, and rather than just broadcasting a service on a YouTube platform, how can we recreate the content that makes church church, and provide it for people in a way that is both accessible and takes the realities of secularism seriously. And so we're navigating the reality of church online in a different way than I think we thought we would be. But that is my 5 minutes. So I talked very fast. I'm sorry.
Thanks so much, Jared. It's great to hear a little snippet of the story. Is there somewhere online that people can go if they're curious, or should they just try to just get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can go to our website is thecreek.life. There's a link there to our YouTube channel. Any love you want to give to our YouTube channel is much appreciated.
Of course. Yeah.
Um,
All right. Thanks so much, Jared.